There is a black maternal health care crisis in this country, with black women 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications. This painful reality hit home for one Chattanooga father who is now raising his daughter as a single dad after the death of his wife during childbirth. I sat down with Edgar Patton as he opens up about the incredible pain and how he hopes that his story will help others. This precious little miracle, Emery, gives Edgar Patton a reason to keep going every day.
Whenever she's crying, I pick her up and hold her, and she just automatically stops. The energy, it reminds me of holding Jasmine.
Jasmine was the love of Edgar's life.
You know, every hug I used to give her, every kiss on the cheek I used to give her.
Jasmine was his wife and best friend.
She was the light of the room. She just enjoyed people. Her sorority, her co-workers, her family, especially her family.
After 7 years of miscarriage and a long struggle with infertility and a number of rounds of in vitro fertilization, Edgar and Jasmine Patton's dreams were about to come true, and they were finally about to become parents.
We had our nervousness, and we were worried at times about being good parents and all that stuff. Living in the moment, understanding that, hey, we're bringing in a new life that we created.
But that joy soon turned to concern as Jasmine started experiencing complications. CDC data shows that black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white women.
And then it got to a point where she couldn't work anymore. And the last week, she got to a point where she couldn't eat anymore.
Things got worse from there. Edgar got a call at work that Jasmine had been rushed to the hospital.
Her body was slowly shutting down. She was having trouble breathing. It was just tough seeing her like that.
Why is this so common? With all the medical technology and advancements, Jasmine was an educated 34-year-old young black woman who was a nurse practitioner. Her husband says she did everything right when it came to her doctor's appointments and care. Recent studies have shown that social factors such as historical exposure to racial trauma, discrimination, systemic racism, and implicit bias within the healthcare system all play a role. Jasmine had an emergency cesarean section. Their precious little miracle, Emery, was placed on a ventilator.
The baby's heart rate was very low, and the doctors were concerned about that.
Meanwhile, Jasmine was still fighting for her life. What had been unbelievable joy just a few months ago had turned into a nightmare.
I come in some days and expect to see her on the couch, or I may walk in the bedroom and expect to see her laying down. And even the dog, sits by the door thinking she's gonna come home one day.
But sadly, Jasmine isn't coming home.
Jasmine never got a chance to see her. She was so in love with her, even though she never got a chance to see her, never got a chance to hold her. But she felt every kick, every turn, she felt it all.
After that emergency C-section, Jasmine was rushed to Vanderbilt, where doctors told her family she wasn't going to make it. She died of liver failure.
I immediately got on the phone and told my parents to, hey, stay in Chattanooga, go to the hospital and be with the baby. And I actually called up the Erlanger to the NICU and I asked the nurse, I told her what was going on. I was like, would you please call a chaplain to come pray over the baby for me?
They did just that.
She is the world. As much as I hate getting up at night and changing diapers, it is all worth it.
Edgar says he will always make sure Emery knows how much her mother loved her.
And I want her to understand how important her mother was, how smart her mother was, how caring her mother was.
Edgar says he's turning his pain into purpose.
I want to stress to people, if you go to the doctor and they say, well, I can't find anything, well, I don't think anything's wrong, or it's just common for this to happen, it's all right to get a second opinion on that.
In the meantime, Edgar knows he has someone depending on him.
I know I have a job to do, and I want her to be raised right. I want her to be raised in church. I want her to be educated. Whatever she decides to do in life, I will support.
And credit to Edgar for being such a compassionate and articulate spokesperson in raising awareness, because it could happen to anybody.
It really could, and especially during something like this. You know, he said, Latrice, my way of speaking out and raising awareness is also a way for me to heal during this process as well, and hopefully raise awareness for other couples who are going through this, to prevent this from happening to other couples, what happened to him. And again, like he said, he just wants to continue Jasmine's legacy and make sure that their daughter knows. You know, I mean, it was a struggle for 7 years that they tried to have a child, and she was finally able to have a child, and then this happened. So yeah, just a really powerful story, and he is a great spokesperson for this issue.
Latrice, thank you for that.